real hard to try to make those things happen. So it's going to be a challenge. You know, a lot of the agencies, they're going to be facing different kind of challenges. Unfortunately, many of our state agencies are looking at cuts and layoffs and reductions. For us, the workload's going to go up about 50%, and we're going to have to be able to perform. So it's a good challenge to have, and we got a great group at the Department of Transportation, and so we'll get the job done. So some of the projects I brought along a little list. I'll go through real quickly, and then we can answer some questions. We got on the 336 project to Peoria, the phase 1 engineering is nearing completion. I'm advised that there's going to be a public hearing on that on August 11th to 13th. I guess here in Macomb it's going to be on the 13th at 4 to 7 o'clock at the VFW Post. Those are opportunities for the public to weigh in on their thoughts on how this ought to be done and what ought to be done. And you know, it's really a great opportunity for us at the department to collect some of the information. And let me just also say, in that area, I was out at Quincy earlier in the year, and when we talked about projects of interest to them, I was very impressed by the fact that they told me that the Macomb bypass was a top priority for the region. And that's impressive because it's not often that you come into a community and they've already adopted this regional approach that, you know, we're all in this thing together, and it isn't just about, you know, what we want in Quincy. It's about a bigger picture that, you know, what's good for Quincy and Macomb and even Hannibal, Missouri is good for all of us. So, you know, you're part of a good group, and I think that really helps because we were just sitting here at the table talking, and I can tell you when I deal with the suburban areas of the state of Illinois, you know, there's all kinds of arguments up there, and there's a lot of congestion already. There's a lot of you know, development, a lot of houses, and typically what we hear is, well, you know, we want the road to go here, we want the road to go there, we don't even want the road. You know, they got all kinds of ideas, and it's very difficult to get anything done in the suburbs because there's just no consensus. So what you have here, I think you've already got ahead of the curve because you've got a regional consensus. You've already told us what it is you want. You speak with one voice, then we just have to try to get the job done. So the public hearing is part of those kind of processes where we collect information. We've got the phase 2 engineering going on the I-474 project to Eden Road, and that's funded through the federal earmarks, the safety loop earmarks that's in the old transportation bill. And I know that we're talking with Congressman Herron, Congressman Schock, and we'll talk to them about this project, and I'm sure you should as well, about trying to get, you know, some additional money from the federal government to move forward. On the US 67 project, you've got phase 1 engineering that's complete for the Macomb to Jacksonville section, and phase 2 engineering for the section of US 136 to north of Industries underway. The phase 2 engineering from north of Industry to Illinois 101. It's in the multi-year program, so that's going to move forward. We're still looking for some additional money, obviously, to make this project complete. It's a big project, but we have to take it a step at a time. In the Northwest Macomb bypass, phase 1 is complete. Phase 2, the funding for that is in the capital bill. Construction to complete the interchange at US 136 and 336 on the west side of Macomb, it's in the capital bill. And construction to complete the interchange at US 67 on the north side of Macomb is in the capital bill. So those are important items that are there. It's not the complete project, but again, it's a very significant step forward for the region. On the northeast bypass, you have phase 1 is complete, and phase 2, which is the engineering and the soil engineering, is included in the capital bill. So we can take a step forward there as well. Again, it's not the complete project, but it gets us moving along. It keeps us moving along. On US 34, we have phase 1 is complete. Phase 2 from Carmen Road to TR 111 is near completion. And then there's $70 million additional money for land acquisition that's included in the capital bill. So that will allow us to begin acquiring the land and beginning the process of thinking about building. Phase 2 engineering for the final section of US 34 from from south of Kirkwood to US 67 at Mammoth. It's nearing completion. So those are some of the road issues. I think I talked a little bit about what we're doing with rails. We have $45 million requested for the Macomb to Quincy part of the Amtrak proposal. We actually filed it under the high-speed rail. And again, we don't know what the feds are going to do. It's a new project. It's a new, it's a new initiative. And if we don't get funding through the stimulus bill, we'll come back to the capital zone. We have some earmarks there that we would use as well. And I talked a little bit, I think, about what we're trying to do with the airport as well. So those are just sort of a broad, I guess, discussion of what it is that we're trying to accomplish at the Department of Transportation. And I think probably at this point it might be best if we just had some